you.
You're welcome. You and your cats, you know, y'all get it all handled.
I will. Don's taking Johnny to his friend's house. They're headed back to the water park today. And instead of getting up at 6, so I had enough time to feed the cats and drive, we got up at 7 and Don's driving. I'm almost ready to feed kitties, but I haven't got kitties fed yet. Bye. Johnny's gonna have another great day. Alright guys, I'm like just 2 or 3 minutes away from... Hi, it's okay. Hi, Morris. Yeah, and Marty's actually already been inside, and oh, here comes Tux though. Careful, he's confused. Let me go finish getting the... food. Oh, Morris, that's not a good idea, honey. Marty gets away with it, but Marty's special. Did you get trapped? Hi, I'll be right back. I promise. I'm really close with the bowls. The bowls are halfway full. There we are. I came right back out with the food. I'm a good mom, even though I haven't had any coffee yet. It feels an hour earlier. Surprise, surprise. Just a hint of cool in the air. It's nice. It's 7:40 now. Johnny's supposed to be at his friend's house at 8:30, give or take, so. Alright, let me fill the water bowls. Keep moving. Keep moving this morning. Well, at least with being out here a little early, it cut down on the mosquitoes hovering around me. I didn't get swarmed. Good morning, Panther. Good morning. How's my buddy? Looking good. There you are. You were a little slow to come down off your perch. How are you? How are you? Good morning. Here you go. Here you go. Aw, sweet girl. So are you maybe going to do a project today?
Yeah, I'm going to put the soft start on the air conditioner.
It's a little nicer out there today, and we're not walking because we didn't have enough time to get in the walk before I had to leave.
Right. And right now, I'm actually going to get out there like in the next, I'm going to finish my coffee and I'm going to go because for the next hour or so, it's going to be in the shade.
Right.
The sun's over here, but it's coming over there. So I either get it done now in the next hour or two, or I'm probably good. I have a good hour, maybe 90 minutes, and that should be plenty. And then if not, then I'm going to have to wait, well, unless I want to be out in the sun, until it goes all the way over and it gets back in the shade, and that'll be 5 o'clock today.
Well, your girl did clear out the ferns and anything that was over there that had gotten tall, that was impeding on the airflow from the heat pump system. When I mowed, I got rid of all that stuff. So I left one that could possibly be in your way. Just take a pair of scissors and trim it. It was nowhere near the vents, but for a person around the machine, it might be in your way.
Right. Well, they gave pretty good instructions, and what I was trying to say is I've printed them off, and I'm going to make the little notes in here. I'm going to read them one more time, then any note I want to make, I'm going to make on here, and then I should get going. So I should be out there within the next half hour or so.
Yeah, JB's looking for feedback, and Don's got back 90 minutes out of his day, sort of.
Sort of.
Because we're not walking, so, and I'm headed shopping, so.
Right, and I'm going to put my coveralls on and put bug spray on because I'm going to be standing in the grass weeds for a while.
Let me think if there's anything else I wanted you to do while you were geared up. I don't think so, but I'll double check, Donnie. I'll double check.
You just
see if I can add to the project. I'll text you. Okay, all the kitties except for Stripe paid the picture tax. Yeah, it was kind of nice this morning. I get to go off on my day of shopping and I'm not all hot and sweaty from our walk, and I've got on shorts instead of my leggings, and It was kind of nice just this once. Yeah, so Johnny's off to Emerald Isle Wet and Wild Water Park in Greensboro again today. It's the same place he went sometime right before his trip up to New York with his dad, with his friends from the high school. It is the place where we've gone to with Michelle and the kids in prior years. But anyway, his friends have season passes, and I guess when you have a season pass, you can get somebody in with you. You know, they make a lot of money at that place with food and concessions and t-shirts and stuff like that, and locker fees and the cabanas and all of that. So getting people in the park is a lot of their, I'm sure, a lot of their profit model. But anyway, hopefully the weather looks really nice right now. There's a chance of showers this afternoon. Hopefully they either won't be in Greensboro or they'll come late enough in the day that it won't interfere. But since they're all getting in on a season pass, not a huge deal one way or the other, I guess. When Don came in, since it's August the 1st, Tuesday, you know, he read all of his meters, his hot water heater and the meter for the electric car, electricity usage and all of that stuff. He's got his monthly readings. He's still keeping up with that. And yeah, JB was kind of wanting to know how the soft start thing works for Don. He might want to order and install one before hurricane season. So Don had kind of been waiting for a day when the weather was better. I don't know if it's right or not, but Ruby right now says it's 79 degrees. So anyway, I'm up to the chiropractor, Guardian Angel, Apex, Whole Foods, back to the house. I imagine we'll be picking Johnny up sometime after 6 or 7 o'clock, something in there. His friend's house is not quite as far as the high school, but it's, or the, you know, St. Aug's, but it's almost as far. It's sort of in that general direction. So, not last night, but the night before, WeVideo put in another new UI enhancement, software update, big change. I kind of had an inkling it was going on 2 nights ago because I was having some errors happening while I was navigating the system that are very unusual, and sometimes I have to log in and out to update my storage available size. And when I was logging back in or whatever, it was doing some funky things. So anyway, I'm not happy again. And I'm not going to go on a whole, you know, rant about what I'm not happy about, because you guys don't, you know, really have a need to know that, but, or care. I mean, I'm sure you care that I'm frustrated, but you know what I mean. So I started looking into other editors, and I really want to keep my processing up on the cloud. So that precludes wonderful things like Final Cut Pro and Adobe Premiere, both of which are great and would do what I want to do. And I have a Final Cut Pro license, and getting a Premiere license is not a problem. But anyway, I was researching this product called, the one that seemed the closest to WeVideo was called Kaping. And it has a lot of nice features, several features that WeVideo doesn't have, that I've been actually asking them to add. However, it couldn't even handle uploading yesterday's video contents, which isn't even that much. And it might be a Chrome browser thing, but anyway, yeah, if all of a sudden one day you can tell the video's been produced by another piece of software, you'll know why, because I'm just kind of having trouble over there on WeVideo, and they seem to be going in a direction that is geared more towards education and the classroom experience than what I'm trying to accomplish. And rechurning the UI once or twice a year versus adding new function is not really what I'm looking for when the current UI already meets my needs, you know, 98%. So Anyway, a little trouble in video editing paradise. I don't like surprises at 11 o'clock at night when I'm going to edit the video. You know, that's not when you could sort of stay in your own lane, Mr. Dump Truck. Ugh. I was listening to music today instead of my book, and yeah, that's fun out there on the turnpike. Yay, Star Trek! I had a nice cat nap during my session today, and we did my left knee and both calves, and I have to say that felt pretty darn good. Thank you, Ruby. It's tight over here, but I appreciate it. Okay, a little too tight maybe. I took a peek in the Goodwill over here by the chiropractor and didn't buy anything. Super crowded in there. Was kind of just ready to come back out. Well, there's a nice breeze out here today. Appreciate that. Cooler and a breeze. Paper plate Jeep. A Hemi Jeep, huh? There's a Bolt. A 3. Yeah, that goose over there, he's not too happy, or he is happy. You see another 3, a Y. A 3, another 3 up there, another Bolt. Sorry for the wind noise. It's coming over here to look at this Kia with its red brake calipers. It's a Hertz car. A Stinger, huh? So if you're feeling sporty today, maybe you'd rent that. Parking lot is quite busy. Not slammed, but definitely busy. I wonder if the black chairs and the kitty tower came from the same house. I got 2 things in there. This bin of Legos, which has some Minecraft and some Christmas. This is a Christmas scene. And a wind chime. Here, let's just put that in there to carry in the house. Still looking for small wind chimes. That one was $2, so I can do that. So as I was walking out to the car and I was on the sidewalk, somebody went past me in a Hertz white Model Y, and let's just say they were doing a performance demonstration coming down that lane there. They were not being shy.
Okay, I'm out here, and of course the sun's already come over, so I guess I'm going to do this in the sun today. I've got my clamp-on amp meter on min-max mode, and it's on the common wire of the compressor alone. I'm going to kick off the thermostat. I've got the thermostat set high. I'm just going to have it call for cool, and it'll kick on. I set it up to down to 75. There it kicked. I want you to hear it. Listen and hear it. Well, they kind of warned you about this. So at 13 amps is what the max 13.3. But this is a HVAC clamp-on meter. It's got a thermocouple and a few other things. but they said a lot of meters can't catch the peak. So let me switch it just to regular amp mode here and see how much the compressor is actually drawing. Yeah, so running, the compressor is drawing not much. Of course, it's building up right now. It's not a heavy load out here. It's comfortable. It's like 75 degrees out here. So this is not, the compressor's not working hard right now. And this kind of backs up with what my energy meter here over here probably says. It says right now she's drawing 1,000 watts. I'm sorry, right now it's drawing 1 kilowatt, and that's both the fan and the compressor. The compressor is pulling 3.7 amps, so most of that is the compressor. So you know, it says 4.32 amps up here. So I guess I can go on and do that. Anyway, so I'm gonna take the cover off and everything, and I have to go turn the power off because this is a control board. It's not just a silly little relay in there. This is actually a control board. I'll show you that in a minute, but it's very important. The 24 volts that runs that comes from the house, so I'm going to go throw the breaker inside the house. Alright, so here's the control board. Like I said, it's a Comfort Alert by Emerson. This is the start relay. This is the start capacitor. Yeah, I believe that is the start capacitor. Okay, and I'm sorry. This is the start capacitor over here. This is the run capacitor. Anyway, yeah, this notice it goes start relay over here. So this is the start capacitor, and this is the run capacitor down there. I have to take this cover off because this red wire right here goes to the compressor, and it goes through a current transformer, and that red wire is one of the wires that the hard start kit hooks up to. But one of the things I have to figure out before I get too carried away here disconnecting stuff is where I'm going to physically mount the hard start kit. Obviously I've got a nice little hole here the wires can come up through. I have a grommet. I'll put a grommet on that. But I've got to decide where under here I can mount it. That's an awful, this side over here is awful far away, but that thing, it does have long wires. So if I can mount it over here and just stretch it over there, that's probably what I'm going to do. Well, after walking back and forth between the garage and the outdoor unit here about 20 times, I've got it mounted. I got the wire ran. I got a nice gland nut. I had to peel off a few inches of the insulation, but I've got the orange wire hooked to the hermetically sealed compressor, which is the purple wire. This big purple wire right there, actually. This little purple wire goes to this start relay. I've disconnected the start relay, and I just simply put the other end of the red wire that was on the start relay. I just slipped it on the spade terminal over here. So basically this wire is not connected. That capacitor's out of the circuit. The black wire goes to the crankcase heater, and this is one side of the line, L1 or L2, I forget which one, but that's what that is. And it said hook the brown wire that comes with the micro air to the red wire, and I'm going to shrink this after I test it out and make sure it's good. It said to put the white wire in place of the red wire, which I did, and it said be very careful and make sure you thread it to that current transformer. That's that yellow thing. You see a little bit of yellow there. And then it said hook the black wire underneath that red screw, and I've done it. So, you know, it's just 4 wires. I am basically ready now to test it. Now this thing says it does you need to start it needs to cycle 5 times, on and off 5 times, to learn the start process. Before I'm going to clean up all my tools and stuff, and before I put the outdoor cover on all this stuff, I'll make sure that it does the 5 times. But at this point, I'm just going to clean off and give it a test and see what my amp meter reads. Of course, again, until it does the 5 times, it really isn't going to tell you any difference. Well, that was the first one, and I've got to say, it sounded terrible. It buzzed. I mean, the compressor started right up, but there was a buzz. It seemed to have run, so I let it run for about a minute, and I'm cutting it off. Now, of course, there's a 8-second delay. The 0 over here means standby. So I'm gonna bump the thermostat back on and let it do the second one. The second time it started up, it sounded a little better. It's fixed the kickoff. I've bumped up the heat. You can see the C, lowercase c, that stands for first stage cooling. All right, so there it is. It just cut off, and now it says 0, which means no call for cool. That's the third start. I went on and shrink wrapped things up and such. So far, so good. It did sound smoother that time. It says 11.7, but again, I'm not convinced that my meter can really grab it. They had warned you that this is pretty quick. The easy start, as you can see, the little green lights are on, and again, the lowercase c for cooling is there. So I'm gonna stop. This is that was the third time. All right, it's running. This is the 6th start. 25 amps it pulled on the 6th one. I'll check it later. Nice thing about it is I can do the Bluetooth from inside, even with the metal cover on. So that's encouraging. It connected Bluetooth just fine. One thing nobody told me is the Bluetooth is only active when the compressor is running. In other words, it hooks to L1 and L2 through the same contactor that controls the compressor. So the contactor in the outdoor unit closes. That connects the easy start. The easy start says, I'm not going to pass the current through. I'm going to bring myself up. And then after, it gets up to voltage, then it says, okay, now let's go through this routine of starting up that compressor. I need to say that I did program the easy start per the instructions to 0 delay. In other words, the control board there has a delay, the thermostat's got a delay. No use of the easy start putting in yet another delay in there. So there is no accidental compressor startup after a power glitch or a brownout. Basically once that contactor drops, the unit's going to be off for like 5 minutes or 8 minutes. I forget what the delay is on the thermostat, but anyway, there's no need for the easy start to delay it. But we'll see. I'll keep an eye on it and see if it goes down. But I don't call this a dramatic savings based on what my expectations were. All right, this is the 6th startup. And it started fine, 25 amps, which to me seems not significantly savings. Not knowing exactly what it was before, it's kind of hard for me to tell you if 25 amps is good. It's only a 2-ton unit. So I'm going to say, okay, the Bluetooth only works when the compressor is running. So keep that in mind. The live amps, it tells you what the live amps are, and it's like 4.1 or 4.2 amps. It matches what my little meter on the disconnect that I added last couple months ago. It matches that very well. Anyway, I guess I'm okay with this. I would say it isn't worth the extra money. I'd go get the ICM one. I think if you have a issue with starting it up, I did program this for 0 delay per the instructions. I may have skipped that in talking about it. And remember, the reason I got this is I'm probably going to buy a new generator, and the easier it is for the heat pump to run off the generator, the better. Won't have to worry about it. The old generator I got started the thing up just fine last September, and the air conditioner ran in cooling mode. It ran just fine. So I don't know if it's really necessary on mine with that start capacitor, which is unusual for a lot of the units. That I think this is because this is not the bottom of the line unit. They put a couple extra bucks and put a start capacitor in there, and I think that helps the start up quite nicely.
I don't need a lot today. I know. I always say that, and then I come out with a ton. I don't think I need a lot today. I guess time will tell. It's up to about 90, but that breeze is still feeling really nice. Honesty's the best policy. If you realize the poor cashier forgot to ring something up, you walk back down the hill and back up the hill and you make it right, because, you know, it's the right thing to do. I wasn't really looking forward to an extra walk down the hill today, though. But I got to see a white 3, a blue Y, and a silver ID4. So, I did eat one of my hard-boiled eggs. Put some salt on it before I walked back down into the store, though. So, I had this wonderful realization in Whole Foods today that Johnny has already spent his last weekend at home with us before he heads down to school, because this coming weekend he's at his father's house. And as I walked around Whole Foods, I kept on going, wow, I'm not going to need to buy as much of that, or Johnny really likes that, but oh, I don't need to stock up on that because he won't be around to eat it, or also, like, let me grab another 6-pack of this Zevia cream soda because Johnny'd really like to have that down at the dorm. Anyway, I started thinking about all these last things while I was in Whole Foods today, and I did not have a good time in there. I did not. I'm ready to go home. I don't like being out here by myself today. I like shopping buddies, kids, Michelle, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna go home now. It's 2:40, so I guess I've expanded my routine by about an hour, or at least a good solid 30 minutes from when I was picking up Johnny downtown. But yeah, I think it hit me in there, so I'll try to get my head back together before I get home. The last thing I want Johnny to do is to feel like Mom isn't okay or doesn't want him to go, because that's not true. I want him to go and have a great time and be successful and all those things I've worked for 19 years to help him do, right? So I want all of that really bad. Doesn't mean that there's not going to be a few emotions between now and him going and all of those well wishes for him, right? I'm sure it's all normal stuff. It's just, you know, it's just what I'm going through today. Being a mom is so much fun. Well, Ruby made that greater than 90-degree turn off of Sunset Lake Road onto Bass Lake Road today. She's never done that before, probably mostly because I didn't have enough guts to let her try. I was determined today that we were going to do it. Notice how I said we. This is easy peasy. She does this all the time, no problem. Just when you thought you got in from the sun and got to pile up for a while.
Oh, I'm glad you're home.
So I want to take a little closer look at what might be in this box of Legos. This was a official Lego bin. It had stickers on the side, but they weren't really meaningful to me. And the tape that GA had used to seal the bin tore the sticker and I was able to pull the sticker off. But it's a pretty nice bin. And this may have been donated by the same person as last week because things do appear somewhat sorted by color. Least 2 advent calendars, a Star Wars one which has some cool stuff including this Santa Darth Vader and this droid Christmas tree, and then there's a city one that just has some good general characters that I would use in my buildings. I still got to look this up. I think I know what that might be. And then there's some miscellaneous characters and a bunch of clean bricks. So it was cool, fun to go through. There's a pretty new S. I think in the chrome it says plaid underneath the right tail light. I think
it does too. It's got the little wheels on it, so it's got the right wheels for it to be plaid.
And it's definitely new. All blacked out, piano black on the bottom and the back. Don and I are almost to Johnny's friend's house to pick him up. I looked on Google location services, Google Maps, and the boys are just ahead of us. It's been a mostly smooth ride, except for when Jules got over left right behind a tractor trailer, super close.
Oh, what, within a half a car length?
Yeah, it was really close.
At 70 miles an hour? What's a half a car length at 70 miles an hour?
Exactly. Well, we've got Johnny and we're headed home. 4 minutes until a launch that we're supposed to be able to see to the east. No pressure or anything to find a spot for us to stop and watch, Nani.
Okay, good.
Well, and Terry's just lifted off. Our friend David said if we're going to see it, it's to the northeast. And 2 minutes after liftoff, which should be in about a minute. So we're off 401, not far from where we watched the last eclipse on the way home from school that day. Hopefully we can see something. You and I, we keep meeting like this, Donnie. Sky watching. Well, it's been 2 minutes. You know, we don't have the most unobscured view to the northeast. But that's basically northeast. Don was standing up on the burn there a little bit, but I was worried about fire ants. So unless I hear it for sure, I can see it from up here. I wasn't going in the grass. I don't have on my sneakers. I've got on Crocs.
Did David see it?
I don't know. Not he hasn't said that he has yet.
Oh yeah, let's run over.
Yeah, that's kids for you. Main engine cut off. So I guess once that happens, we wouldn't see it, right? Darn. One of these days we gotta get lucky with one of these things. It was a little bright out still. They should have postponed it by about 15 minutes, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree.
Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. It was free to stop and stretch our legs for a minute. Well, one of these days we'll get lucky.